Hey fellow reefers, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lee. This is Reefer Explained. Today we're looking at my Red Sea 250 G2, just in case you're new to the channel. Yes, it's at night time and usually I don't put these videos out, but at least we don't get the glare. Now the tank is looking really blue. We've only got 10 minutes. The lights will be going off. This video is going to be based upon cooling your tank when the temperatures outside exceed the threshold in the UK, and kind of some tips and tricks that I picked up along the way that could help you and yeah, are beneficial. So if you like this video at the end, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you like the channel, you want to see more videos. I'm trying to bring out more, as many as possible, yeah, we'll get right to it. So I think for the video itself, what we're going to do is just talk about the controllability on the temperature first thing for the heater and the fan, just so you know where you're at. So you can use a temperature controller. There's a few brands out there. It's not favoritism or anything. I'm just going to name a few. You've got D&D, you've got Refactory, you've got Inkbird, and there's a few more that you can buy from Amazon. A few other brands out there that do these. So here is the Inkbird, and you've got a heater plugged in, and you've got a cooler, which is the fan. So that's your temperature controller. We've got the same up here. We've got a thermal control by Refactory 79.2. It's showing you. This controls, it's got a unit down here with a light on. It's got one for the heater and one for the fan. The fan is currently directed into the sump, just sits there. It was on this board, but it's not cooling enough from that distance. And plus with all the gear in here, it's quite difficult. So this is currently cooling the sump down. It's quite cool in there, and it's keeping that temperature at bay. Now, ideally, you want the air coolant on the top of the tank, across the tank, and that will cool the tank down and keep it there. You will go through more RO water by doing that evaporated cooling method. Another thing that I'm using is a gauge that will text alert me, send me an email, make a noise, and I can see it visually. Is this. I've talked about it before, but it's a thermal view. It's a plug-in mains fancy display for your temperature of your tank. You can put this in the sump, this probe, one probe, and then one goes into the mains of the plug socket, standalone, and I just love it. I can always see it anywhere, and it will do the same as the thermal control, as in alerts, but it just doesn't control the temperature. This just gives you visual aid. I bought this before the thermal control was released, but this is a great product. So going on top of the tank, you want a fan pointing down on top of the tank, and that will cool the tank down. Now I know this, I'm going to change the color of this by putting a lens on because it's so blue. So that's a bit better. You can actually see the tank, and that's what it kind of looks like generally, just to give you an oversight of what it looks like. So you can see it's not all glory. We've got some algae just going off here, and maybe some cyano, but I'm not sure. But we're keeping that at bay. We're doing our water changes. We are not doing anything too racket on it. Filter the sand out every 3 weeks or so. Do a water change every 3 weeks. Might move it to 2 weekly. Got some algae, you can see patches, but you know, the snails and the crabs and the lawnmower blenny, tuxedo urchin. Trying to find where he is. I can't see him. But going back to the cooling. So you've got a few options out here. You can get GHL, you can get some Chinese knockoff brands, you can get this brand from Amazon here. It's a 5-speed fan with a bracket here on the bottom, so you can clip this in an ideal world, but this one broke. I had it for quite some time, so it would sit like this and point downwards. You can use it on the controller. It will kick on when the threshold gets too much, and it will point down and cool the tank down. But because this broke, I had no option to discard that for now. And what I've been using is something a bit crazy. So I've just been using this fan. It's a plug-in portable fan, rechargeable, 100%. and it can move direction, it can point downwards, but the best thing is if you push this button at the back, it folds down fully flat once you extend the pole. So you just need to pull the pole out, and now, and without any problems, you turn it on. Without any problems, the fan is on. You can lay this on here because it's very light, very lightweight. Once you extend it, it just sits flat, and that has been cooling my tank. If I just show you how, goes up to level 6, and it just cools the tank. So when I've been at home and I've seen the temperature, I knew it's going to be a hot day, I just recharge this, or you can plug it in, but I don't want the mains above really, so I just recharge a bit, and it lasts the day, and that will keep my tank cool by evaporate cooling the top of the tank, and then I take it off. But because most of the time I don't need this, it's only these last few days we've had crazy heat, and this has kept my tank at a nice cool temperature. The other trick you can do is, if you don't have a fan and you're struggling, is fill some bottles of empty plastic bottles of RO water, just in case. You freeze them and then put them in your sump, and that will cool the sump down. But you'll need a few bottles to do that over the period of the day to keep the temperature going at a steady pace. And the reason for the RO, just in case the bottle splits, you don't want tap water inside your main aquarium, personally. Apart from that, you can use an AC unit if you've got one, either built into the property or on wheels, which I've got, and that is great. I just stick the hose out the window, and when it gets too crazy hot, I will close all the windows and turn that on, and I have no problems at all. But ideally, I don't want to do that because I like having the windows open or the fresh air. So this is what I'm doing, and I will invest in another fan of sorts, maybe something similar to this. The problem is where do I attach it to? It won't fit realistically on the edge because of the screen top. I have an acrylic thing here, but it's not that stable, so that might be an option, but I would need something bigger, and I just think it's going to look ugly. So I think for now, while I'm having these hot days, this works well for me, and maybe it'll work well for you. If you like the idea of the fan, you want to know where I got it from Amazon, I'll give the link. Just let me know and I'll put the link in the description. I'll send it across to you or something on a message. Any questions you have about the cooling and heating, let me know. I'm using a 300 watt heater by, I think it's TMC, thermal something, but great heater. I'm not using titanium. I wanted a backup with the switching mechanism in there. So even though I'm using a controller for that, I still wanted a backup. Let me know what your thoughts are, guys, on my video today. Really appreciate the people subscribing and liking these videos. It just helps me bring out content a bit more often than not. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.